Krishna Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna Hare
Hare
Ram
Krishna,
Ram
Hare
Ram Ram
Krishna,
Krishna Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Ram 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 Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Ram
Krishna,
Ram Ram Ram
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna Krishna Hare
Hare Ram,
Ram
Hare
जय
Ram,
श्री
Ram
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 कृष्ण
Ram,
Ram
चैतन्य
Hare Krishna,
प्रभु
Hare Krishna,
Krishna
Krishna
नित्यानंद
Hare
श्री
Krishna,
Ram
Hare
अद्वैत
Ram, Hare
गदाधर
Ram, Ram
शिवाय
Krishna
Ram,
श्री
Krishna
Hare
Krishna
गौर
Krishna
Hare
भक्तवृंद।
Krishna, Hare Krishna,
जय
Krishna
श्री
Ram,
कृष्ण
Krishna Krishna
चैतन्य
Krishna
प्रभु
Krishna Krishna,
नित्यानंद श्री
Krishna Ram
अद्वैत
Ram
गदाधर
Ram,
शिवाय शादि
Hare
गौर
Krishna, Hare
भक्तवृंद।
Krishna.
जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवाय शादि गौर भक्तवृंद। हरे कृष्ण।
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, dear devotees. So today is Saturday. It's 23rd of November. And it is Keshavamasa or Margaseshamasa Krishna Paksham Ashtami Tithi. So there are no Vaishnava events today. Um, so next coming event is only on 26th of November, the Ekadasi. That is Tuesday. So for today, there are no events. We shall quickly go into Dynasty event. ॐ नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ॐ नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ॐ नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। Hare Krishna. In the Srimad Bhagavatam, so Sukadeva Goswami describing the Vaikuntha planet and the Lord's opulences, that the Lord is sitting in his throne and looking towards his all his associates, and with intoxicated sight, he is glancing on them, and he's very peaceful, and his eyes are very reddish, and he has got a very beautiful crown on top of his head, and also earrings. He is decorated. He has got a four hands, and has got a yellow garment, pita, pita vastram, and on his chest he has got the Srivatsa symbol. So in such a way, he is giving all the happiness to his devotees there. So the Lord is enjoying. Uh, so Bhritti Prasadadmukum Drugasavam Prasannahasa Arunalochanaranam Kiritinam Kundalinam Chaturbhujam Pitam Sukum Vakshasi Lakshitam Shriya. Likewise, Sukadeva Goswami is describing the glories of the Lord and his beauty. Now he is coming to describe about the Lord's different energies. Lord's different energies. So the Lord is sitting on the Yoga Pita. Yoga Pita is the asana, as we have read yesterday, as per the Padma Purana, that the Lord is sitting in the throne, which is called Yoga Pita, and then which is worshipable, and also the Supreme, and surrounded by different energies of the Lord. The four energies, 16 energies, and five energies. And with all other and not only these energies, and also so many small energies are also surrounded around the Lord to personally assist him. Likewise, the Lord is enjoying with all his energies there. So whatever we name the energy, so all either it is a siddhi or yogi, whatever it is, they're all in the personified form and serving the Lord. Likewise, Sukadeva Goswami is describing. So we are in the Srimad Bhagavatam, second canto, chapter 9, verse number 17. अज्जर्हनीयासनम् आस्तं परं वृतं चतुष्षोडश पंशक्तिभिः युक्तं भगैः स्वैतरत्र चाद्रुवैः स्व एव धामन् दममानमीश्वरम् अज्जर्हनीयासनम् Ajjarhaniya Asanam is the Ajjarhaniya is the greatly worshipable Asanam, the throne, which is called Yoga Pita. Ajjarhaniya Asanam Asitam Param, he is seated on that throne. Asitam Param, that supreme personality of Godhead, sitting on the supreme throne. Asitam Param, by what? Vrutam Chatushodasha Panchsektibihi. Vrutam, surrounded by Chatuhu, is the four, namely Prakriti, Purusha, Mahat, and Ego. These are the four energies. And Sodasha, the 16 energies. Five Panchabhutas, five Jnanendriyas, five Karanendriyas, and one mind. And the Pancha, this is five Tanmatras. 5 energies, and then Sektibihi, by these energies. Yuktam, and empowered with Bhagaihi, on all his opulences. Swaihi idaratra cha adruvaihi. So, Swaihi, the personal, itaratra, other minor prowesses, that is minor energies like Astasiddhis, itaratra cha adruvaihi, that these are temporary ones. Astasiddhis are temporary ones, but they're also personified and assisting the Lord. Yuktam bhagaihi swaihi itaratra cha adruvaihi. Swayeva dhaman ramamanamishwaram. And Swayeva dhaman, in his own abode, Ramamanamishwaram, he is enjoying Ishwaram, the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Likewise, Sukadeva Goswami is describing here, the Lord is surrounded by all his energies. Whatever we see in this material world, Astasiddhis, they are also serving the Lord in the personified form. And all the Panchabhutas, everything else. So, Adjarhaniyasanam Astam Param Vritam Chatashodasha Panchsektibihi Yuktam Bhagaihi Swaihi Idaratra cha Adruvaihi Swayeva Dhaman Ramamanamishwaram. So, translation for this was, the Lord was seated on his throne and was surrounded by different energies like the 4, the 16, the 5, and the 6 natural opulences, along with other insignificant energies of the temporary character. But he was the factual Supreme Lord, enjoying his own abode. Purport by Srila Prabhupada, Srila Prabhupada ki Jaya. So can I request Sanchita Mataji to read this purport, please?
Hare Krishna. The Lord is naturally endowed with his 6 opulences. Specifically, he is the richest, he is the most powerful, he is the most famous, he is the most beautiful, he is the greatest in knowledge, and he is the greatest renuncier as well. And for his material creative energies, he is served by 4, namely the principle of Prakriti, Purusha, Mahatattva, and ego. He is also served by the 16, namely the 5 elements, earth, water, air, fire, and sky, the 5 perceptive sense organs, ear, the eye, ear, nose, tongue, and skin, and the 5 working sense organs, the hand, the leg, the stomach, the evacuation outlet, and the genitals, and the mind. The 5 includes the 5 includes the sense objects, namely form, taste, smell, sound, and touch. All these 25 items serve the Lord in the material creation, and all of them are personally present to serve the Lord. The insignificant opulence numbering 8, the Astasiddhis, attained by the yogis for temporary overlordship, are also under his control. But he is naturally full with all such powers without any effort, and therefore he is the Supreme Lord. The living being, by severe penance and performance of bodily exercise, can temporarily attain some wonderful power, but that does not make him the Supreme Lord. The Supreme Lord, by his own potency, is unlimitedly more powerful than any yogi. He is unlimitedly more learned than any jnani. He is unlimitedly richer than any wealthy person. He is unlimitedly more beautiful than any beautiful living being. He is unlimitedly more charitable than any philanthropist. He is above all. No one is equal no one is above all. No one is equal to or greater than him, nor can anyone reach his level of perfection in any of the above powers by any amount of penance or yogic demonstrations. The yogis are dependent on his mercy. Out of his immensely charitable disposition, he can award some temporary powers to the yogis because the yogis hankering after them. But to his unalloyed devotees who do not want anything from the Lord save and accept his transcendental service, the Lord is so pleased that he gives himself in exchange for unalloyed service. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Mataji. So here in this purport, so the Lord is naturally empowered with his 6 opulences. Aishwarya, Vairagya, Yasho, Avbodha, Virya, Shriya. Puttam, Aham Prapadhe. So that Lord, to such Lord we offer our obeisances, who is in full with all these opulences, not any less than that. And here the Lord is Lord and his energies, they are the Prakriti, Purusha, Mahatattva and Ego. So there are out of the five subjects, one is the time and Prakriti, uh, time, Prakriti and Mahatattva and living entity, and then the karma. Karma is the temporary. So everything else are permanent. So here, this Prakriti, Purusha, Mahatattva, and Ego, these are the principal 4 energies of the Lord. And here Ego, it is in the, how do we understand? In this material world, it is the materially embodied, that is Ego. And in the spiritual world, it is serving the Lord. Okay, but anyway, I don't want to go more into it. So he is also served by the 16, and these are the 5 Panchabhutas, 5 Jnanendriyas, 5 working senses, and then 5 Tanmatras. Tanmatras are the taste, smell, sound, touch, form. All these are Tanmatras. There are 25 items to serve the Lord in the material creation, and all of them are personally present to serve the Lord. And also these 5 and the Vedas are there to serve him, and also all of his personal associates like the Nanda, Sunanda, Prabala, Arhana, and Vedas, and also personification of the um, these opulence. So as we see this one and this one, personification of Dharma, Jnana, Vairagya, Aishwarya. These are all 4 personified as well. So they are also serving the Lord. And then further, Prabhupada is describing about the Astasiddhis. These are the insignificant opulences numbering 8. And where Prabhupada describes these are temporary overlordship or some kind of energies. They are also under the control of the Lord without any efforts, and therefore he is the Supreme Lord. And then further, Prabhupada is describing by performing these severe penances and austerities, one cannot become a god, but instead he gets the mercy of the Lord. So he will become a yogi. So because he awards such kind of rewards to the yogis, so that's why he is called Yogeshwara. Ishvara. Ishvara is the supreme controller. So controller of all the yogis. Okay, and again later on Prabhupada is describing about his all 6 opulences. And then further, yogi is dependent on his mercy out of his immensely charitable disposition. Okay, so but here comparing of all these yogis, but devotees they do not want anything except the transcendental service. So that is the more transcendental service is more powerful than anything. It is higher than Krishna itself. That Lord also says to gopis that, "O gopis, you have surrendered yourself unto me. I cannot repay my debt. So even though for so many days, if I have been um, trying to fulfill your desires, but I cannot repay your debt," something like that. Krishna says, so let your devotional service be your reward. Let your devotional service be your reward. That is the most highest perfection, transcendental service of the Lord. On the other day, one of the devotees also describing for to serve Krishna, one can keep Krishna aside and serve him. So just like when Yashoda Mata was just in the comparing to the Damodar Lila, when Krishna was drinking the milk, and also Yashoda Mata was keeping the milk mm, the on the stove. So when the milk was about to the spill out of the pot, so Mother Yashoda kept Krishna aside and then went to keep that milk aside, the milk pot, so that it will be saved for Krishna. Again, that is service. And here, for the service of that one, here Yashoda Mata kept Krishna aside for time being, for a little while. So that is the service. So likewise, one devotee was describing. So here, that's why Krishna can give liberation to anyone, and but not the devotional service, which is the topmost of everything. By the devotional service, he give himself. The Lord will completely come under the control of a devotee. Muktindadahi karichit manna bhakti yogam. He does not give any bhakti yogam to all the people that much easily, but he can give the liberation. So likewise, Prabhupada is describing here. Uh, The Lord is enjoying in his Vaikuntha planet with all his different energies. Adjarhaniyasanam astam param vratam chatashodasha pansektibihi yuktam bhagaihi swaritratra chadravaihi swayeva dhamam dhamamanamishwaram. So here, when Sukadeva Goswami, when he was offering his obeisances to the Lord before he speak further to Parikshit, Namo namastestu rushvaya satpatam vidhura kastaya muhuhu kuyoginam nirasta samyata sena radasa swadamni brahmani damsre namaha. So he starts his prayer starting with Namo Namaste and ends with the Namaha. So, and in between, he is describing the Lord as the Rushvaya Satpatam, Vidura Kastai Muhuhu Kuyoginam. He is very difficult to achieve for the Kuyogis who are just pretending to uh, that they are engaged in the devotional service, but they are Kuyogina. So they are either Vidura Kastaya. He is very difficult for them. Nirasta Samyati Senadadasa Swadamni Brahmani Damsre Namaha. And the Lord who is always enjoying in his abode with all his energies, I am offering my obeisances onto that Supreme Personality of Godhead. Swadamni Brahmani Damsre Namaha. So here, Swayeva Dhaman Dhamamanamishwaram. So here again, Sukadeva Goswami is describing to the Parikshit Maharaj. Okay, likewise, that is from Srimad Bhagavatam. So we shall quickly move into our daily, Srila Prabhupada's daily letter. So today it is letter to Yamuna, May 17th, 1970, Los Angeles. Can I request any other devotees to read this letter? Any unallocated devotees?
Hare Krishna Prabhu, can I read?
Yes, Mataji, please.
My dear Yamuna, please accept my blessings. I am in due receipt of your very nice letter dated 8th May 1970 and noted the contents with interest. Thank you for your determination. For the way in which I am trying to expand, I require so many sincere assistance. So the program which you have listed for the students and your daily schedule are very nice, and your schedule is fully approved. Just see that everything, Arathrik, Bhoga offering, etc., is done strictly on time. When every moment one is engaged, it is called Avyartha Kalatva, which means not to spoil even a single moment of life without Krishna consciousness. I am so glad to learn that you are regularly observing the listed holy days in our Chaitanya Almanac. The roaring Sankirtana offering feast to the deities with special preparation is our simple mode of celebration, and there is no special other program. This is the standard, and that is our festival. It is good news that Srimad Trida Sriman Tirthapada has also engaged one carpenter to help rebuilding our Lenten temple house. As he is giving service, gradually he will come to Krishna consciousness. He is giving service in his qualification. As we as we accept valuable metal like gold from a filthy place, similarly we should allow any karmi to work for Krishna. Regarding Rathayatra, Jagannatha starts on the second day of the moon, and on the fifth day there is no meeting. But there is some controversy with Lakshmi's servant and Jagannatha's servant. That is Hema Panchami. Jagannatha returns back on the 10th day of the moon. Thank you very much for the silver for sweetmeat preparation and also the milk masala of ginger base. I have kept it for future use as you have suggested. Yes, the Brihat Saman is meant for the demigod. Devotees are demigods. But people are not so advanced that they can sing Brihat Saman so nicely in this age. Therefore, Hare Krishna mantra is recommended to be chanted without diversion. You have already mentioned Yajnanam Japaya Nyasni on the head of your letter, and the Hare Krishna mantra is the best yajna sacrifice. Hope this will meet you in good health. Your ever well wisher, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami. Srila Prabhupada ki jai.
Jaya. Thank you, Mataji. Any take points, Mataji?
Hare Krishna Prabhu. Yes, so here Prabhupada was appreciating Yamuna Mataji for her enthusiasm, and Mataji was asking Prabhupada about some schedules, her ideas as schedules, how the programs will be conducted in the temple. So Prabhupada was giving approval for that. And the important thing Prabhupada was mentioning is like when DT service, we should be very strict on time. For everything there should be proper standards, like for artrik boga offering everything, the timing should be proper and it should be done properly in proper time in a clean way, because we are serving Krishna and that is Radharani service. So Radharani won't be happy if we miss anything, or if we loosely do anything, because it has to, Radharani always follow the highest standard. So we should also follow the highest standard. So that is what Prabhupada was mentioning. And a single moment also should not be spoiled without doing something for Krishna. At least by thinking also we should be engaged in Krishna services. And another important thing Prabhupada was mentioning, like, and also Prabhupada was mentioning about the festival celebration, so that we devotees also do, and temples also follow. Like even if we are not able to go to temple, also we can celebrate. We can prepare something and serve to Krishna, and give to some of our friends or someone who is non-devotees, because they that's the way we can distribute prasadam. So that also we can be do when on special days on the calendar. So that can be followed by every grihastas, and a symbol, just sankirtana, just do a kirtana and special preparations with simple mode of celebration. That's what we should do. And another thing Prabhupada was mentioning, like we can engage the karmis also in whatever service is possible in the temple, because Prabhupada giving a wonderful example, like the gold we take from filthy places also once, but when one we process it, when we do the proper processing, it will turn to gold. And diamond is also like that. So when it go for under purification, it will become the most valuable thing. So we don't know, like what gem or what diamond is hidden in someone. So we should not discriminate. We should be open to everyone, because once they undergo the process, they will come as the most precious gems of the moment. So we have seen that the hippies, how Prabhupada converted all the hippies and the persons into the leaders of the society, Krishna consciousness society. So that is Prabhupada was mentioning. And the another thing is like the services can be done by everyone. So even when in the temple, we allow for the electricians and other persons who was karmis. to do some services to Krishna. So, but to remain in the temple, to remain in the movement, the person has to enter. So the entry ticket is just like by the mercy or by the mercy of Krishna or by the mercy of spiritual masters, some devotees, we may get an entry ticket. But to maintain ourselves in the movement, we have to enter, and devotee that the person has to enter, the person has to put an effort to continue the movement. So but we should give a chance to everyone. So that is what Prabhupada was mentioning. And then Prabhupada was mentioning about Hema Panchami, Rath Yatra and all. And last, Mataji was giving some sweet meat preparations and some milk masala, and Prabhupada was thanking, and Prabhupada was storing that for future use also. And there is something, I don't know, that Brihat Saman, that normally demigods sing, but devotees are not that much so advanced. So Prabhupada was emphasizing the importance of Hare Krishna mantra. So Prabhupada was mentioning like only Hare Krishna mantra is sufficient. So that is the best yajna sacrifice for this Kali Yuga. So we need not required to know other things, and we need not, maybe we can't do that properly, but Hare Krishna mantra is the simple and easiest method, so we all can follow that. That if we follow that 100%, that is the only thing we need. So Prabhupada was again mentioning the importance of Hare Krishna Maha Mantra also, Prabhu. So yes, Prabhu, this is what my understanding. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you so much, Mataji. Very nicely explained. Sanchita Mataji wanted to add anything in the comments?
Hare Krishna Prabhu. Yeah, Sarnya Mataji is nicely summarized. So here, one point was Hera Panchami. It's not Hema, it's Hera Panchami. Hera. So it's on the 5th day. That's the celebration. Like when Lord Jagannath, he said he will come back in one day from his aunt's house, but he did not come back. So then they go. Lakshmi Devi's servitors. They still do it in Jagannath Puri. Maybe in ISKCON we see Rath Yatra only one day, or maybe Snan Yatra, and then after 15 days, just one day of Rath Yatra. But in Puri, the entire thing, like entire pastime is celebrated like for the 10 days. So on the 5th day is Hera Panchami. So Hera means to look. So Lakshmi Devi goes to her aunt's house, Gundicha temple, to watch, to see, to bring Jagannath back. But she was so angry that Jagannath did not want to face her. Like it was a very nice sweet pastime. So then Jagannath sends, he does not come to the door. The servitors who are on the door, they talk to her servants, and they say he is not feeling well, he'll come after a few days. Lakshmi Devi gets very angry, and then she breaks or chips one of the wheel of the Rath, and then Jagannath's Rath, not Shubhadra, not Baladev's Rath, but Jagannath's Rath. And then she comes back, and then again when they go back, there's another pastime that she's not very happy, she's angry, like they do this pastime as material, like how grihasthas we do. So Jagannath and Sri Devi, which is Lakshmi Devi, they do this pastimes like that. And Jagannath, when he comes back, he persuades her by giving rasgullas, and he dresses up in like gold, like Suna Besha. He dresses up nicely, and those little pastimes. So that's the significance of Hera Panchami, I wanted to add. And like a few other points, like about this devotee. I was studying Yamuna Devi. So she's like one of Prabhupada's one of the most sincere devotees, and what she has done for ISKCON, unless we read about her, we do not know and we cannot appreciate. So Prabhupada, in the beginning of the letter, he mentions that we need more such sincere devotees, like to succeed in the movement. So she has written, what's that? Every Shingar Arati in all the temples, we hear this Govindam, Brahma Samhita, the verse 30 to 32, from 30 to 30, the two verses they sing. It's done by Yamuna. It was, of course, composed by George Harrison, but this was the voice was Yamuna Devi and Shyam Sundar Prabhu, and there were others as well who came to London by helping with the instruments. But so we hear her voice every single day, like she Govindam Adi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami. So Prabhupada liked it so much that he said every temple in ISKCON during that, other arti or the kirtans they do, they're normally sung by the devotees in the temple. But this one, Prabhupada made it compulsory that all the temples they should play this only from the original soundtrack. So that's what they play. So that's Yamuna Devi's voice. Another thing is like she had taken, she was, she was a great cook. She was Prabhupada's personal cook, and she has written many cookbooks. Like, and she is also, so not only as an singer, she's an author as well. So she has written like the books on vegetarian cooking. So she used to go in India when she was there. She used to go to different towns and villages, and those little I've come across her books, the cooking book. It's amazing, like how simple. Like we haven't seen any cookbook like her, like uh, Art of Vegetarian Cooking or something like that. That book. So she used to go to towns and villages for kirtana with her associates, and then uh, go to people's house and ask them how do you cook this simple vegetarian food. And then she's written like a big thick book on that, and other two books as well. And apart from the Govindamadi Purusham, she has recorded other two, the Mahamantra audio, and there was another one, solo audio uh, tracks as well. And this was the service, and apart from this, she, this Krishna Balaram temple, the Vrindavan temple, she was like an architect. So all the beautiful design of the temple we see from outside, the architecture, the beautiful architecture, it was designed by Yamuna Devi. So like she was an engineer, kind of an engineer as well. And uh, apart from this, the most important sacrifice, like there's one term like where Shri Prabhupada mentions, what's the word, avyartha kal. So Prabhu, can you just go up a bit? Yeah, this one, yeah, avyartha kalat kalatvam, yeah, avyartha kala. So she did not waste a single moment of her life without Krishna consciousness. So she's the main one on whose recommendation Prabhupada initiated disciples. So, like Prabhupada used to go in different countries, different continents, so he was not there. So, it was her responsibility, especially in America and also in UK as well. So, she was the one whom, when new non-devotees used to come and they got attracted to Krishna, she used to help them become first devotees, and then she used to recommend them to become disciples. And in that all happened in the 60s, and then in the early 70s she would help them to, like, go and open, like, preach them in such a way. She did such preaching that she would go to help them open temple, like these devotees of 2 years, that is, I mean, Prabhupada disciples. Suppose somebody has become a disciple in 68, Prabhupada disciple, then by 70 he's opening a temple. So like that, like that's how empowered she was. Like Prabhupada completely, it's everything's there in ISKCON Desire Tree. I was reading through her, devotees who have written about her, that Prabhupada has written one place that I am initiating such and such devotee based on Yamuna Devi's recommendation. That, and one of the biggest sacrifice that she has done, she was married to Guru Das, and they were only married for 9 years. She had a few miscarriages, and Prabhupada said, Krishna wants you to completely devote in service. So do not aspire for child. And then, after 9 years, she normally in ISKCON, men only, male devotees take sannyas, but for female, there is no concept of, like, they don't have to be renounce everything and become sannyasi. But she was one of the first one who voluntarily, like Prabhupada never asked her, but voluntarily gave up her marital life and became sannyasi. She wore saffron and she served like that. And immediately Prabhupada, he did not want his her husband Gurudas Prabhu to get married again to some other devotee. So he said, I will give sannyas to Gurudas also. So he became Gurudas Swami. So yeah, these are the few things, like not few things, like her contribute. I mean, she was one of Prabhupada's uh, greatest, I mean, most favorite disciple, I would say. Like here, when in later she says that she's sending Prabhupada, all the milk masalas, so that personally thinking as, like, in winter you can use that as like ginger and all that, so Prabhupada does not get cold and all. So she's sending. And then for making sweets, the silver, sometimes in India we see the silver on top of the sweets. So she's so thoughtful, sending Prabhupada all that so that he can use it whenever he's traveling, because he used to make sweets and feed the devotees and whoever comes to the guest in the temple. So all these little things, I mean, her and of course in rebuilding this London temple, immense sacrifice by the six of them. So Yamuna Devi was one of them. So yeah, I mean, that's my, like, not like, I mean, I love reading about Prabhupada's disciples, and this is what I uh, learned about Yamuna Devi. So I just wanted to share. Yeah, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you so much, Mataji, for giving us so much of information about Yamuna Devi. Okay, any other comments?
There's so much information about Yamuna Mataji. It's so beautiful. Yeah, thank you for sharing that information.
Hare Krishna. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. It's because of Srila Prabhupada that we come across such devotees and his greatest disciples who has done so much for the movement. And yeah, so we must appreciate and glorify them when we get time. So just thought, because Saturdays, sometimes weekdays are busy. So some I mean, to her husband Gurudas, during the week we read this beautiful letter in this week, that how he had written a big letter about so many things, and Prabhupada was glorifying him as well. So I thought I'll just glorify his wife, good wife, Yamuna Devi. Yeah, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Saranya Mataji wanted to say something.
Hare Krishna Prabhu. I just wanted to say thank you, Sanchita Mataji. I missed, I read it as Hema Panchami. Thank you for correcting me. Thank you so much for the beautiful explanation about Yamuna Mataji. Thank you. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Any other comments?
Hare Krishna. Was it mentioned about Ratha and Jagannatha? I didn't quite hear that.
Yeah, this is
Yeah.
about the Hira Panchami Mataji. So
Oh, is that what it is? Yeah. I know.
Yeah, Mataji, because this is like the 10 days festival is like properly done in Jagannath Puri here, because we, of course, because of resources and other commitments in foreign land, it might not be possible. So that's why the other days there are many other, from the 10 days, every day there is something, but we do not come across it so frequently. That's why maybe we are not aware. So, but when we follow a bit of how the festival is celebrated, pastime is celebrated in Jagannath Puri, then from there I learned like how in the Sahira Panchami, it's like a very sweet fight between I mean, Lakshmi Devi and Jagannath. I mean, Jagannath ji doesn't fight, of course, but he persuades his wife by when he comes back finally on the 10th day, he feeds her with rasgulla, and only then, and I mean, spend some time with her. Sitting on the Ratna Singhasan, like, and giving her time, then only Lakshmi Devi, she is like persuaded. So yeah, is that also has got a name. So just not remembering right now, but yeah, thought of sharing that. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you so much, Mataji. Okay, so that is from Srila Prabhupada's letter. And one more point. So this Bruhat Sama is a beautiful kirtans coming from the Samaveda. Bruhat Samam Tada Samnam, when Krishna says out of the Samaveda kirtans, so Bruhat Sama, it is a very beautiful thing. Prabhupada a number of times says that one, but we cannot sing. But Yamuna Mataji mentioning Yajnanam Japa Yajñosmi. Out of all the sacrifices, only Japa sacrifice. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. So that is the best thing. And also just wanted to show this Bruhat Samam. And the other day I was just thinking, what is Bruhat Samam? So the Lord says a very beautiful thing. It goes like very prolonged of each letter. Mm, just wanted to give only a few minutes. What is that one? Okay, so just okay, just putting. Okay.
Guys, as a thank you to all our ओहोयि त्वामिद्धि हवा सातो वाजा स्याका तो वा ओहो वा वृत्रायिषु वा द्रासा वादिन्ना त्वां काष्ठा ओहो वा सो आर्वा ता वा वा ओहो इदुवा काष्ठा सो अर्वा सत्वा ओहा नश्चायत्रवा तादृष्णो माहस्तावा ओहा नो आद्रा वा 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 ओहा महा स्तवा नो आद्रा वा गामा ओहा वा शुभांग्रता या द्रासंका सत्रावा जा ओहा वा ना ना चिक्यो शाये हुआ बा has Om.
This thermal device heats any room in 2 minutes at the push of a button. This genius way to heat any room for almost zero.
Okay. So that is the Bruhatsama. So that comes with a different meters. So one has to think very carefully, like as Krishna says in the Bhagavad Gita, Bruhatsamam tata sabnam. And it is for the demigods. Okay, so that is just wanted to show, give a taste of how it looks, Bruhatsama. Okay, but we know Hare Krishna Mahamantra is the only one for this age. Okay, that is my takeaway. And from the announcements point of view, so today evening we have got Chaitanya Charitamrita session with Krishna Keshav Prabhuji at 7 p.m. That is our upcoming event. And a day due.
Prabhu, sorry, Krishna, sorry. In the last paragraph where Prabhupada says devotees are demigods, can you elaborate? I was thinking some in line, but can you elaborate? Like, sometimes Yamuna Devi, so like, devs and demigods in India, they call Surya Dev, Chandra Dev, like, and Devi, so Durga Devi. So, and when he names devotees, like, sorry, his disciples, like Yamuna Devi, Govinda Dasi Devi, so Devi Dasi. So, is it somehow like he wants his disciples to be so empowered, or like he considers them empowered as demigods? I mean, why has he mentioned this?
So here Prabhupada maybe meant it is सर्वैः गुणैः तत्र समासते सुराः यस्यास्ति भक्तिर्भगवत्य किंचन सर्वैः गुणैः तत्र समासते सुराः. So who are the devotees of the Lord? Vishnu Bhakta Smritadaiva Asuraha Tad Viparyeha. Devotee only the devotees of Vishnu, they are the Daiva. Everyone are Asura. And whoever is the devotee of the Lord, Yasyasti Bhaktir Bhagvatya Kinchana, and some completely devoted, Sarvehi Gunehi Tatra Sarva Samasati Suraha. And Sura is that all qualities of the demigods, they are in the devotee. So that's why devotees are demigods. This way I understand. But here, yes, whoever is engaged in propagating Krishna consciousness, they are not ordinary souls.
Yes, okay, thank you. Yeah, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
Yes, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Can I ask a question?
Yes, Mataji.
So, Prabhu, it's like in the not in this context, like in the Bhagavad Gita, Krishna says now, when Krishna explains these opulences. So, out of 4 Vedas, I am Sama Veda, like that Krishna says. No? So, what is the importance of Sama Veda when compared to other 3 Vedas? Like, why it is important?
Samaveda contains the glories of the Lord mostly.
Okay.
Rigveda contains about the mantras in performing in the sacrifices in overall. And then I don't know much details about Atharvana Veda and Yajurveda. So previously there was only one Veda, it is called Atharva Veda. Atharva Veda is split into Sama Veda, Rigveda, Yajurveda. Yaja means worshipment, I think performing sacrifices or something like that one also. Unless we go into those specializations, we don't understand yet. I do not have much knowledge on them.
Okay.
But Samaveda contains glories of the Lord. Out of glories, a Bruhat Samnam. This is the very beautiful thing that Lord says. Bruhat Samnam Tada Samnam.
Okay. Okay, Prabhu. Thank you. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Prabhu. In this context, yeah, that regarding Vedas, yesterday you were explaining something. I missed that part. I was a bit busy. When you're showing that picture, how the Vedas are placed, the lokas, the Atharva Veda, different Vedas are placed, in the spiritual land where even yesterday, yeah. So just wanted to understand, like, uh, I could not understand that. Is it, so Vedas are the books, right? I mean, which Vyasadeva has compiled about the glorification and the different other things. So, I mean, they are placed in the spiritual, in this picture. So, why is that? Like, maybe I'm not able to frame properly, but what's that, Prabhu? In this picture, it's lower. I think it was
Yes,
bit lower.
it is in the Goloka Vrindavana. So these 4 Vedas are surrounded.
Yeah, that one. So.
So here, everything coming from the spiritual world, whatever we see in this material world, they are coming from the spiritual world that we know about it.
Yeah.
So but in the spiritual world, everything is the person Kaivalyam eva Muttimat. Everything is the personified.
Personified. Okay.
So here Vedas. Okay, so just wanted to show this Vedas personified in the Krishna book. Instead of going to Bhagavatam, I'm just going to this Srimad Bhagavatam. So praised by the personified Vedas. So they glorify Krishna here in the Srimad Bhagavatam. So it contains so many verses and so many prayers. Of course, it is a story. Okay, sorry, in a descriptive form only. They give all kinds of essence, but we have got 4 Vedas. Each Veda describes different subjects. But now all these 4 Vedas are Vedasya Sarvedaham eva Vedyo Vedanta Veda Videva Chaham. As Krishna says that I am the only to be known after going through all the Vedas.
Yeah.
Now those Vedas are glorifying Krishna here, praised by the personified Vedas. Of course, I don't
Okay.
want to go detail each and everything. But yes, the prayers are very nice. They are personified form in the spiritual world.
Okay. Thank you. Yeah, that makes more sense now. Yeah. This is the main difference, like between, like, when we surrender and we take into Krishna consciousness, then we understand that everything. Yeah. I mean, I think one of the devotees lecture also I heard that in Krishna consciousness, everything in the spiritual is personified, and we just see the reflection, how it tells in chapter 15, like and which has got no substance, so we do not find enough taste on any one thing and be happy with that forever. Yeah, so but impersonalists, they do not understand, because if they cannot believe in Krishna, that he is personified, then of course all the other, like as you mentioned, Vedas are personified, they are glorifying the Lord, and everything, all the Vishnu Tattva, they are personified. So it's such a beautiful realization that everything is personified just to glorify the Lord. But I mean, unless we surrender, Lord will not give that thing to understand that everything, even this Damodara Ashtakam, once I think Arun Madhusudan Prabhu, he was when he was doing this katha, he said the milk also, when Krishna is being fed by Mother Yashoda, so the milk which is boiling, that milk is getting jealous that, yeah, I'm not getting Krishna's association, so he's spilling. So that is also personified. So the flowers on Mother Yashoda's hair, they want to fall at Krishna's feet and just maybe touch Krishna's feet. So they are personified. So, like, beautiful, such sweet things, but need some realization to Lord's mercy to be able to understand that. Yeah. Thank you, Prabhu. Yeah, now it makes more sense.
Yes.
Yeah, yesterday I missed that part, so I just could not get it properly. Hare Krishna.
So the Kaivalyam eva Muttimat, so personification. So, but in the childhood times, we were playing, we all almost imitate the similar kind of nature. But of course, it is in my personal experience that all children come together to play. and the children come together, maybe 6, 7 children. They form first child is the engine, second child is a different tracks, and they will go to the station, and they will take the passengers. They will and passengers means another child will go and hold the shirt of the previous child. So likewise, they will go. That is a trial. Everything is a personified. And when we are playing some kind of trees, one child stand keeping his hands stretched, and other children sit around him and keeping all of their legs towards that boy like a roots. And some of the children they're playing like a police. Some of the children are acting like a thief and coming, and so everyone are personified. It is not no material there. The children. So, and one person is coming and trying to steal the fruits of that tree. Actually, the tree is also person there, the boys, and one person is guarding, and then he will caught, and then this is fun. It is going on, but actually, knowingly or unknowingly, we have played and imitated in our children pastimes. That is actually coming from the spiritual world, not because with otherwise, days are going on, everything is mechanical, everything with the machinery. There is no more emotions, no more love, no more affections. So this is what I understand in this material world.
Yes, Prabhu, nice realization, nice analogy. I mean, we remember playing everything like as personified things, especially the train thing. We also did play. So, but nowadays, as you mentioned, the world has become so mechanical. We don't see our children like having such group of friends and doing that and playing. The more gadget and all that. So it's like the world has the Kali Yuga. It's like getting more intriguing and taking up our children's consciousness also. But yeah, I mean, I can relate what you're mentioning.
Yeah, likewise, when spiritual world, they're coming through the airplanes. They form, so because our limitations here in material body, we may just playing like that. But as it is coming spiritual forms, they can go and extend their forms like anything. There are no limitations for it. So, for example, whenever um, so Jahnakanya Mataji, Prabhavati Mataji, and Saranya Mataji, they are just serving the Lord personally in the spiritual world. And if they say like, okay, just go and bring Sanchita Mataji, and then they all just form, okay, few devotees like Usha Mataji and Asha Mataji, just making themselves like a very beautiful airplane, and the devotees sitting on top of it, and then going to Mataji's home, and then bringing, keeping Mataji's on the airplane, just going that way. It is everything is personified. Everyone is taking a different role there, but everyone are enjoying that blissfulness. So this is the nature of the spiritual world. Everything is kaivalyameva murtimat. And that happiness, it has unlimited Brahm, unlimited happiness. So of course one can experience that happiness here itself when we are engaging in that pure devotional service. There is no loss in it, no endeavor, no loss in this endeavor. Okay, so that is a small analogies just to understand the spiritual world. Okay, any other comments? Or we shall move on to the next part. Again, going back to the Vaikuntha, we're about to hear about the Lord, to hear from the Lord, what Lord is speaking to Kumaras. Okay, so moving on to the next part. So in the Vaikuntha planet, there's a Lord and the Kumaras, they have entered uh, the doors through the Jaya and Vijaya where they are guarding. And then later on, Jaya and Vijaya, so they have stopped Kumaras, and then Kumaras cursed them, and Lord has come there, and then he's saying to Kumaras that whatever you have, whatever the curse you have given to Jaya and Vijaya, I am approving them. तद्वाह प्रसादयामि अद्य ब्रह्मदैवं परं हि मे तद्दीत्यात्मकृतं मन्ये यत् कुटुम्बिभिः असत्कृताः. So my devotees, they always worship and respect all the Brahmanas. But here, That is my nature. But here, then Vijaya, they did not act in such a way. So your curse, you are my devotees as well. And because you have come here into the Vaikuntha Loka and you're seeing me personally, that's why you have achieved that status. And saying that one, he's saying that Brahma Daivam Paramhime, and Brahmanas are like a they are worshipable to me. Likewise, Lord is saying. And then in the last session, we see if Brahmanas think that if there is any disrespect for them, and I would not hesitate to lop off my shoulders, my arms. So in such a way, he is glorifying the Brahmanas. Yasyamrita Amaleshaha Sravanavagaha Sadyah Punati Jagad Ashwapachad Vikuntaha Soham Bhavabja Upalabdha Sudibda Kidhi Kinyam Subahumapavaha Pratipola Vrittim. So likewise, the Lord is saying, so anyone in this world, even down to the Chandala who lives by cooking, who lives by cooking and eating the flesh of the dog is immediately purified if he takes bath in the hearing through the ear, the glorification of my name, fame, etc. Now ye have realized me without doubt. Therefore, I will not hesitate to lop off my own arm if its conduct is found hostile to you. So such a way, the Lord is always inclined to the Brahmanas and also his devotees. So this is what we have discussed. So that as Krishna's statements, Name Bhakta Pranasyati. So Krishna devotees will never be perished. So again here the Lord is stressing. And the same thing, who are the Brahmanas means who are all dedicated their lives, all of their lives to the Supreme Lord. So shall we move to the next verse? And here the Lord is glorifying. So I always serve these Brahmanas and by and the dust of these Brahmanas, it purifies me in such a way that my glories are famous. Likewise, and also I'm not interested in the Lakshmi Devi, though she is always engaged in my service. But some people they wanted her favor for some time, little bit of her favor. They all worship with so many rules and regulations. But the Lord, He is always worshipping the Brahmanas. So likewise, the Lord is speaking to the Kumara. We are in the Srimad Bhagavatam, 3rd canto, chapter 16, verse number 7. यत्सेवया चरणपद्मपवित्ररेणु सद्यः क्षताकिलमलं प्रतिलब्धशीलं न श्रीः विरक्तिमपि मां विजिहाति यस्याः प्रेक्षालवाद इतरे नियमान् वहन्ति यत्सेवया चरणपद्मपवित्ररेणु यत्सेवया of whom sevaya by the service charana Padma Re Charana Padma is the lotus feet. Pavitra Renu, the sacred, the dust. Pavitra Renu, Sadhyaha, and immediately Kshata Akilamalam Pratilabdhaselam. And without Akila, without all, Kshata is wiped out, and Akila is all, Malam is the sins, Pratilabdha acquired. Selam, the disposition. Pratilabdha Selam. न श्रेः विरक्तिमपि मां विजहाति यस्याः. And the Lord says, न श्रेः, I do not virak, न श्रेः. Na is the not. Shri, the goddess of fortune. Virakti mam, have no attachment. Virakti mam, apimam, even though me, vijihati yasyaha, I do not have an interest in the Lakshmi Devi. And vijihati yasyaha, so leave of the goddess of fortune and preksha lavad the itare. For obtaining a slight favor, itare others like Lord Brahma, Niman, and sacred vows, Vahanti observe. So there are all other demigods and many people, they wanted to have a little favor of goddess of fortune, but the Lord is not interested in Lakshmi Devi likewise. More than Lakshmi Devi, he keeps Brahmanas in his heart. Sadhu Hridayam Mahim, Sadhu Nam Hridayam Tvaham. So like what the Lord says. So yatsevaya charana padma pavitrarenum sadyah kshatakilamalam pratilabdhaselam nashrihi viraktimapi mam vijhati yasyaha preksha lavadda itere neeman vahanti. So, and he is saying, the Lord continued, because I am the servitor of my devotees, my lotus feet have become so sacred that they immediately wipe out all sin, and I have acquired such a disposition that the goddess of fortune does not leave me, even though I have no attachment for her, while others praise her beauty and observe sacred vows to secure from her even a slight favor. So likewise, the Lord is saying, okay, purport by Srila Prabhupada, Srila Prabhupada ki Jaya. Can I request any dear devotees? I have to read this purport, please. Brother Sachin.
Hare Krishna. Shall I? Oh, sorry. You asked somebody.
Brother Sachin Mataji wanted to read.
Yes, Prabhuji. Sorry, Mataji. The relationship between the Lord and his devotee is transcendently beautiful. As the devotee thinks that it is due to the being a devotee of the Lord that he is elevated in all good qualities. So the Lord also thinks that it is because of his devotion to the Servitor that all his transcendental glories have increased. In other words, as the devotee is always anxious to render service to the Lord. So the Lord is ever anxious to render service to the devotee. The Lord admits herein that although he certainly has the quality that anyone who received the slight particle of the dust of his lotus feet becomes at once a great personality. This greatness is due to his affection for his devotee. It is because of his affection that the goddess of fortune does not leave him, and that not only one but many thousands of goddess of fortunes engage in his service in the material world simply to get a little favor from the goddess of fortune. People observe many rigid regulation of austerity and penance. The Lord cannot tolerate any inconvenience on the part of the devotee. He is therefore famous as a Vakta Vatsala. Hare Krishna.
Krishna Srila Prabhupada ki Jaya. Thank you so much, Mataji. So here the relationship between the Lord and his devotees is transcendently beautiful. A devotee thinks that it is due to being a devotee of the Lord that he is elevated in all good qualities. This is the Raihi Gunaihi Tatra Samasate Suraha. And so the Lord also thinks that it is because of his devotion to the servitor that all his transcendent glories have increased. So here again, so the Lord also thinks that it is because of his devotion to the servitor that all his transcendent glories have increased. So Lord is the devotee of his devotees. That's why all his transcendent glories have increased. He thinks like that. Lord also thinks. So in other words, the devotee is always anxious to render service to the Lord. So the Lord is ever anxious to render service to devotee. So devotee, because there is no sense gratification when he is serving to the Lord. Such a kind of devotees are called devotees, pure devotees, not by personal sense gratification like I wanted this kind of benedictions from the Lord. Such kind of people are not the devotees. Pratijnanaha prapadyanti anyadevataha. And they have got some kind of the sense gratification. They want some material opulences from the Lord. The Lord gives them, but it is not the unalloyed devotional service. So here, Lord, in such the devotee, he is always wanted to Matsevaya Pritamte Salokyadi Chatustayam Nechayanti Sevaya Purnaha Kutonyat Kalviplutam. So he doesn't take any kinds of opulences or benedictions from the Lord and Nechayanti Sevaya Purnaha without performing this devotional service completely. And what to speak of anything which is temporary of nature. So he does not take anything. So he takes only mat sevaya pritamte nechayanti sevaya purnaha. Until he completes his service, he does not take anything from the Lord. So, because he is engaged in the service, the Lord also engages to render some service to the devotee. So that way, and further, the Lord admits that herein that although he certainly has the quality that anyone who receives a slight particle of the dust of his lotus feet becomes at once great personality. At once become a great personality. This greatness is due to his affection for his devotees. Again, where does that is yat sevya charana padma pavitra renun sajja kedakilamala pratilabda selam. So that greatness is due to his affection for his devotees that he acquired. So the dust of the lotus feet of the Lord, whoever achieves that one, then they will become the devotees of the Lord, becomes a one such a great personality. And then it is because of this affection that the goddess of fortune does not leave him, and that not only one but many thousands of goddess of fortune engage in his service. Lakshmi Sahasra Sambhrama Sevyamanam Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami. Even when the milk ocean was channeled by the demigods and the demons, so at that time so many items have been appearing. At the time goddess of fortune, Lakshmi Devi also was born out of this milk ocean. So kind of a Samudra is the kind of father to Lakshmi Devi. So at the time Lakshmi Devi wanted to marry. And many people they are coming to get married. Like Brahma, Shiva, and all the demigods and demons also, they are standing there. Who will be the most fortunate person to get married, goddess of fortune. And also, she comes and describe this person, Lord Shiva. Okay, he has got this quality, so I reject. Brahma, he has got this qualities, I reject. And then Indra reject, and Bal Chakravarti reject, and then finally comes to Vishnu. And then glorifying that he is always peaceful, he does not go anywhere, he is all pervading. So if I render service, if I marry him, my position is always secure, and I would not. There is no bereft of the become a widow. Uh, so in this material world, if I just married someone temporary one, so there may is possibility of becoming a widow. Her husband may die, but Vishnu, he is uh, he's the supreme personality of God. So likewise, she glorifies Vishnu and then marries to Vishnu. So that's why she never leaves the uh, Supreme Lord. She is always at his service. In the material world, simply to get a little favor from the goddess of fortune, people observe many rigid regulations of austerity and penance. Some people they do Varalakshmi Vrata, that many vratas they perform. But actually that vratas are meant only for their husband's well-being. There is again another festival is also is there. I think from North India, only for the well-being of the husband. That is the most auspiciousness. For the woman, husband is the more than a supreme personality of Godhead. If she is treating her husband and worshipping him like that, there is no better God than her husband if she takes it. But on the permission of husband, if he is doing any activity, everything will come into perfect. Though it may not be opulent, it may not be perfect, but it will be successful. But on the other hand, without permission of the husband, even the one is engaging, wife is engaging all perfectly, it may not be successful. There are many incidents of this. Okay, and the Lord cannot tolerate any inconvenience on the part of the devotee. He is therefore famous as Bhaktavatsala. So he is always inclined to his devotee. So likewise, as we see, when Arjuna was being uh, tortured by Bhishma Deva with his arrows, with his sharp arrows, at that time immediately Krishna got down from the chariot, took that wheel, and then go and try to kill Bhishma. He tried to kill Bhishma. That is how he is Bhakta Vachala. He is always at the service of his devotees. And not only Arjuna, so many instances like in Draupadi, but only thing is we need to have such kind of hankering for the Lord. So Lord cannot tolerate any inconvenience. Like here, when Kumaras are being they not treated properly by Jaya and Vijaya. Of course, Jaya and Vijaya, they did not say anything, but they simply stopped them. That's all. But later on, they also fall on the feet of the Kumaras as well. And Lord also glorifies the indirectly Jaya and the character of Jaya and Vijaya also later on, because they have surrendered themselves without speaking. And though Brahmanas are speaking like that, whoever receives those words with a very smiling face and treating them that Lord is only speaking through the mouth of the Brahmana, such kind of people are also being attracted to the heart of the Lord. So that way, the Lord glorifies. Sambhodhayanti aham eva aham upahutastaihi. The Lord says later on. So likewise here Prabhupada is describing the Lord does not tolerate any inconvenience on the part of devotee. He is therefore famous as Bhakta Vachala. I request dear devotees, you wanted to share anything on this particular purport or translations, kindly share.
Hare Krishna Prabhu.
Hare Krishna. Prabhupada.
It sounds like it's implying that there isn't there's not a true devotee. If taking what was said also about the letter, Prabhupada's letter just now, what we discussed. It says there that if you chant, the only way you become a pure devotee or devotee of the Lord is if you chant without diversion. I don't know if that's possible. Even devotees I know in the temple, elevated ones, they're chanting while they're in the temple, they're listening to katha, and it's not it's a lot of diversion in that area. And the phrase that was used that it's only brihat what's it called? Brihat Saman is only to do with demigods, but devotees are demigods. So it's a bit confusing to me.
Yes, devotees, they can also sing if they have that kind of skills. But again, Hare Krishna Mahamantra, Yajnanam Japa Yajñosmi. Japa Yajna is the best of all the sacrifices.
Yes, that's what it says. The japa is the best of all sacrifices in the whole world. But yeah.
When the devotees are demigods, why can't they sing the Brihat Sama?
But I don't know if there are devotees in that case, because it's so difficult to do it chant without diversion.
Yes. So that one, if we have the skills of singing Brihat Sama, we can also sing. There are no restrictions. Prabhupada never say that you don't sing that one like that. But it needs some kind of efforts. Like, see, as we have seen that what that Prabhuji was singing by on his fingers, and the meter is just counting all these things, whether he is pronouncing rightly each and every syllable and prolonging of those syllables. If we have got the skills, we can also sing that one. Prabhupada never said that you don't sing that, but he is giving the flexibility that Hare Krishna Mahamantra is the prescribed one for this age. But we can sing if we have got that skills and learned all these tunes and know the songs of Brihat Sama. Yes, we can sing it.
But one can be trained to sing that, but not have that purity. Surely. There are some people who train in singing.
Yes, yes. There are,
They just sing for the pub. Yeah.
Yes, Mataji.
Hare Krishna Mataji, and just wanted to add that most of the Sanskrit, that's the flexibility with Mahamantra, which Chaitanya Mahaprabhu had given, like he had given it to everyone, so that without causeless mercy, he has given it, like whether you're qualified or not qualified. But the Sanskrit chanting mantras, they were earlier, they were from the Vedas and Puranas and Upanishads, they were normally done by the Brahmanas, so they were properly trained. As you mentioned, that if somebody is trained, they can do that. So when they were trained, like it was like parampara, their family parampara, and like varnashram dharma, so they kept on doing, that was their profession. Like even we had these surnames, like if you are aware or might not be aware, chaturvedis, like there's one surname Chaturvedis. I mean, those families, they could recite and remember the four Vedas. And then we had three Vedi, like these are surnames in India, like normal material surnames. So Trivedi means they remember the three Vedas. And then we have Dvivedi, like two Vedas. So they like had this family tradition. But the problem with the Sanskrit mantras are, like if they have to be, as Prabhu mentioned, very particular and correct. So if you make like mistake, then it's offense. Like even they say that for Gayatri mantra also, because most of in YouTube you'll find that so many people, they're chanting Gayatri mantra, but Prabhupada, he said after second initiation only you can chant, because it should be offenseless, because there's some regulations that needs to be followed to chant that. Otherwise, even slightest of mistake, it becomes like karmic reaction on us. But with Mahamantra, it's not the case. Like earlier, this Mahamantra in the open one of the Kal, what is Upanishad, Prabhu, and where the Kalvantara, I forgot the name. So that mantra was like, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, and Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. But when Chaitanya Mahaprabhu wanted to give that mantra, the Brahmanas got really very angry that, he said, this is for only Brahmanas. How can you give it to everybody? Then then Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he said, okay, if you think that's the case, then I will reverse the mantra. So now we have what mantra we chant, like Hare Krishna, the Krishna's name first and Rama's name second. So the same mantra, but so that the Brahmanas, by their logic, so basically you are not chanting the Vedic mantra. The Vedic mantra, Rama was first and Krishna was second. So now we are Chaitanya Mahaprabhu had given his mantra, he's changed it, and now he's given it like to everybody, every town and village, to everybody. And that's why we chant this, the Panchatattva mantra, Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivashadi Gauravind Bhaktavind. After every round, why do we do that? Because as you mentioned, like there are what do you call that, distractions, people might not be fully focused. So these Panchatattvas, they are very merciful. Vedic mantras, if you make mistake, you get sins. But this Mahamantra, even if you're distracted, suppose as you mentioned, people listen to Katha and then chant also. So, but with every time when we do this Panchatantra mantra, so we ask for mercy, that please, I'm not chanting properly. Please give me mercy. So all the sins, they get taken away. So that's the magical or best thing about Mahamantra chanting. So that's, I just wanted to mention. That makes sense, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Mataji. So just to giving an example. So once upon a time, there is a uh, Indra. He has made some offenses to Brihaspati, his spiritual master, and the spiritual master. So it is not intentionally, but he ignored whenever Brihaspati entering into the Indra Sabha, Indra was engaging in hearing the dances and singing those things. Though he see, but he did not wake up and he went and received Brihaspati. Brihaspati, he left, and then he was out of sight of Indra. So there is no priest now for Indra to carry out his duties. So at the time he approached, there is a uh, who is son of Twasta. I don't remember. He has got three heads. I don't remember his name. So he requested him to become the priest of Indra. So that person became priest and doing all these things. But one thing, his father is a demigod. Twasta is the son of Aditi, and his mother, she is from the lineage of, I think, demoniac lineage. So in such a way, he's both the relative of demigods and demons. So sometimes he performed this yajna to Indra demigods, and sometimes when his relatives, the demons, are coming, he also gives so some kind of the yajna pala to them as well. So Indra did not like that idea, and then he came and then he killed the that Brahmana who has got three heads. So later on, he made another mistake. So first mistake to insulting Brahaspati, and second mistake is killing another Brahmana. So now the Twasta, the father of that Brahmana, he became enraged. Who is son of? So Twasta is the brother of Indra only. So Indra is intoxicated and he killed. So what Twasta he did? So he performed a sacrifice so that a person who would come out of the sacrifice and he should be killing killing Indra. So likewise, when he was doing that one, he chanted these mantras, and instead of saying the person who is going to kill Indra, instead of saying that this who is coming out of this sacrifice, that person will be killed by Indra. So just a small mistake in the chanting of the mantras it made. So actually that is the Vritrasura came out of that one from the sacrifice from that yajna, and he went and fought with Indra. But actually he is the devotee of the Lord, and Indra is also devotee of the Lord, but he sometimes make mistakes. And because Vritrasura is a devotee, and he fights with Indra with fiercely, but he gives the clue also that Indra, you know how you can kill me like that? You have got a thunderbolt which is made up of the bones of um, the Dichi. So you can use that Vajra either to kill me. So, but before that, he glorifies Supreme Personality of Godhead in his. But Vritrasura in his previous life, he was the devotee of the Lord. I think he was a Prajin devotee of the Lord. But here, now he has taken it because on the curse of Parvati, he became a demon for a short span of time. Now, Indra is going to kill him. So why I'm trying to say here, so when the Tvasta is chanting mantras there, a small thing, instead of kill a mantra to chant a person to come out from the sacrifice that to kill Indra, but person has come out who will be killed by Indra. So that is what I wanted just to share that pastime of it. So that's why, as Mataji said, so Vedic mantras have to be very carefully chanted, and these verses needs to be properly pronounced. But when it comes to the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra and chanting the Panchatattva mantra before that, so they will take away if we have done knowingly or unknowingly any sins. They will be taken away. Sins will be taken. They would not be considered. Kushilanu asasiddhanti na itarani krutani yat. That's why Sarangamiva Sarabhok. Parikit Maharaj allowed Kali to enter so that people will take advantage. So Kitna Deva Krishnasya Mukta Sahangaha Param Brajet. So just simply glorify Krishna and go back to Godhead. As simple as that. We got Hare Krishna Mantra. Iti Shodashakam Lanam Kalikarmashanashakam Nataha Paratah Upayah Sarvavedeshu Drusyate. This age of people are not very intelligent. So we just simply need this one. Burhat Sama. It is very nice to sing those things, but unless we are trained, how can we sing? That's why we have got Kirtan evening to sing small Kirtans, learning from other devotees and singing. Sanchita Mataji.
And Prabhu, I noticed the Prabhu was singing with his left hand. Should it be his right hand he would be doing the fingers?
They use both hands for to count these syllables.
Oh, do they? Okay, very well.
Yeah, I just wanted to mention Kali Santarana Upanishad. Yeah, that's what I could not remember. In that Upanishad, it's the mantra is our Maha Mantra. It's written Hare Rama, as like in that format, and then Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has made it like the way we do it, so that it can be given to everybody and it does not offend the Brahmins because they think they're giving the Vedic mantra to everybody. So, I mean, he just very cleverly did that. So that was Kali Santarana, like to Kali is this yuga, and Santarana like carry away the one mantra which will take us away from this Kali Yuga. So the one that is mentioned in that Upanishad. Yeah, Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Mataji. So just like whenever Narada Muni was coming to Valmiki and asking him to say Rama, he could not say Rama, he was saying Mara. So you continue that way, Valmiki, like that. Initially, he was suggested. When he was doing Mara, it became Rama kind of thing. So indirectly. So but just there is no difference when he is doing Hare Krishna or Hare Rama. It is observed. The Lord, we are addressing the Lord and his energies. Okay. Any other comments? Any questions you wanted to add? Okay, so that is from this verse. So we are at 8 o'clock. So we don't want to go to the next verse after 8 o'clock. So likewise here Sukadeva Goswami is describing what Lord is saying. Yat sevya charana padma pavitra renum sadhya chatakalamalam pratilabdha selam. Nashrihi viraktimapi maam vijahati yasyaha prekshalavardaitere neeman vahanti. The devotees would like to chant, recite this verse, everyone, just to get familiarized with the Lord's speaking. All devotees kindly unmute and then follow. I will recite line by line. You also follow. Yat sevaya charana padma pavitra renum
Yat
Yat sevaya charana
Sevaya
padma vitrarenam
sadhyachata kilamalam pratilabdha selam.
satya
Satya
satakila malam
Malam
pratilabdam
Pratilabdhaselam
silam
न श्रीः विरक्तिमपि मां विजहाति यस्याः
Nashriviraktam
nashriviraktam
api
apimam
Vijahati
vijahati
Yasyaha
yasya
प्रेक्षालवार्ध इतरे नियमान् वहन्ति
Prekshalavada Itare
Prekalavata
Niyaman
itare
Vahanti
nayadmam manvahanti
यत्सेवया चरणपद्मपवित्ररेणुम्
Yat
Yat
sevaya
Sevaya
charana
Charana Padma
padma
Pavitranenam
renum
सद्यः क्षताकिलमलं प्रतिलब्धशीलम्
sadya
Sadhya Akila
chakila
Malam
malam patilabdha
Pratilabdhaselam
silam
न
shilam
श्रीर्विरक्तिमपि मां विजहाति यस्याः
Na
nashrir
Shriviraktam
vitar
Apimam
vitar
Vijahati Yasyaha
apimam yam
प्रेक्षालवार्ध इतरे नियमान् वहन्ति
prekshalavata
Prekshalavada Itare
itare
Niyaman
niyam
Vihanti
vyanti
Okay, again once more. यत्सेवया चरणपद्मपवित्ररेणुम्
Yat
Yat
Sevaya
sevaya
Charana
charana
Padma
padma
Pavitranenam
vitrarenum
सद्यः क्षताकिलमलं प्रतिलब्धशीलम्
Sadhya
sadya chakila
Chakila
malam
Pratilabdhaselam
silam
न श्रीः विरक्तिमपि मां विजहाति यस्याः
Na
Nasrir
Shriviraktam
Viraktam
Apimam
Apimam
Vijahati Yasyaha
Jahadya
प्रेक्षालवार्ध इतरे नियमान् वहन्ति
Prekshalabharta imam
Vanti.
vayanti.
Very good. Would you like to take it, friends? Yes, Mataji. Yes.
यत्सेवया चरणपद्मपवित्ररेणु श्रद्धयः श्रद्धयः
Chatakilam.
मलनं प्रतिलब्धशीलं न व्यक्तमपि मां विजहाति यस्यः प्रेक्षालवर्ता इतरे नियमं वहन्ति.
Very nice. Thank you, Mataji. Okay. Kanya Mataji, want to go?
Yes, Hare Krishna. Yatsevaya charan padma pavitrarinum sadiyah statakila madam malam patilabdharasilam nashrir viraktam apimam vijahati siyaha prekshalavarta itare niyamam Niyaman Vahanti. Sorry, I can't see it very well, Prabhu. It's so tiny.
Thank you, Mataji. You did very nicely. Thank you.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Yes, Mataji.
And I read. Yatsevaya charana padma pavitarenum sadhyaha chatakilam pratilabdasilam nasi vidaktamapi mam pijahati yasyaha prechalavartha itare niyamana bhavanti. Hare
Very
Krishna.
beautiful. Very nice.
Beautiful.
So beautiful, Mataji.
Sanchita Mataji, would you like to go?
Yes, Prabhu. Yeah. यत्सेवया चरणपद्मपवित्ररेणुं सद्यः शत् अखिलामलं प्रतिलब्धशीलं नाश्रीर्विरक्तम् अपि मां विजहाति यस्यः प्रेक्षालवर्थ इतरे नियमान् वहन्ति.
Very nice. Asha Mataji, would you like to go?
यत्सेवया चरणपद्मा पवित्ररेणुं सत्यः शक्त्यखिलामलं प्रतिलाभशीलं नच्छृतहम् अभिमां विजय हरियक्षया प्रक्षालवता इदरे नित्यामं वहान्ति.
Very nice. Thank you, Mataji. Yatsevaya charana padma pavitra renum sadhyakshyata kilamalam pratilabdhaselam nashrihi viraktimapi maam vijahati yasyaha prekshalavadaitere neman vahanti. Very beautiful verse.
Can I have another go, Prabhu?
Yeah, yes, Mataji. Yes.
I'll have another go because it's beautiful, as you say. Yatsevaya charana padma pavitram renum sadhya satakilamalam pratilabdhashilam nashrir viraktam apimam vijahati yasyaha prekshalavardha itare niyamam vahanti. Hare Krishna.
Very nice. Thank you so much, Mataji. So, now, Asha Mataji, would you like to read the translation just once more?
Yes. The Lord continued, because I am the servitor of my devotees, my lotus feet have become so sacred that they immediately wipe out all sin. and I have acquired such a disposition that the goddess of fortune does not leave me, even though I have no attachment for her, while others prize her beauty and observe sacred vows to secure from her even a slight favor. Hare Krishna, Srila Prabhupada.
Jaya. So this one, so there was some little pastime about when Krishna, he was saying that I'm not feeling well, I want the dust of my devotees, it needs to be rubbed on my head, something like that. Then some of Krishna's assistants, they go to Narada Muni and says that you give, and then they ask for many other people like Buddha and many other things. They say, I'm not the devotee, I'm not the devotee. But finally, they go to the Vrindavan and ask gopis. They immediately give those dust of the lotus feet of the gopis, and then they they brought that dust and then applied to the Krishna's head. So that is one of the pastime. How we understand here. So I am the servitor of my devotees. So here Lord is saying to Kumaras here. Okay, so I shall stop here. And dear devotees, if you have got any other reflections or you wanted to share anything on this particular or any pastimes you want to share or eager to share anything, any ask any questions, kindly do so. Hare Krishna.
This one is so beautiful, Prabhu. I mean, this when we read of course, from the Sanskrit, it's beautiful to recite and understand. But when Lord speaks, I mean that I am the servitor of the devotees, and what else do we want? Like as you mentioned earlier, that in one of the other thing he was mentioning that to the yogis, they hanker for so much of mystical powers. So I give them little powers, and Ashtanga yoga and all. They're so happy doing that and showing off their mystical powers in the material world. But uh, he's saying I'm giving myself completely just to the devotees, and the pastimes we like Khichor Gopinath and every, I mean, so many different pastimes, Prahlad Maharaj and Dhruv Maharaj, how he's personally come and served them. Like it's like might seem like just a simple shloka like other shlokas he did, but such important messages given that in this world, like we ask for Lakpati, Karorpati, this Pati, and then Lakshmi. Then Lakshmi is Vishnupati. So like yeah, so but people are only limited. I mean, material people, they are only limited. Like if I have so much of wealth, then and opulence, then I'll be so happy and day and night praying. Uh, we see just doing on that realm, but uh, like Vishnupati. And now if we just get to the main Lord, the Supreme Lord Vishnu, then Lord is saying that we do not, I mean, she's serving, I mean, like when we see like, in Vishnu lying down in the Karnadaksha ocean or the Garbhadaksha ocean, and goddess Lakshmi, she is sitting at the lotus feet and always serving, doing pada sevanam. Nobody can do such like lotus feet service like Lakshmi Devi. But even then, Lord is saying that because Lakshmi Devi, she's in opulence and she also wants opulence. So Lord is saying, I'm not attracted. So though she is serving, I mean, she is physically serving the Lord. What more? I mean, we hanker for the lotus feet, and she's got the lotus feet, and she's serving after, as Prabhu mentioned, after rejecting Vishnu, Shiva, Brahma, Shiva, and so many other like devotees as husband, and she's got Vishnu now, and she's serving. But this realization that even then Lord is not so much attached to her. He only wants to serve his devotees. So this realization, I mean, just I guess gives goosebumps. So this is amazing.
Would you like to read this translation message, please?
Yes, Prabhu. Yeah. Sukhdev Goswami continued. My dear king, the supreme person, Mukunda, is actually the maintainer of all the members of the Pandava and the Yadu dynasties. He is your spiritual master, worshipable deity, friend, and director of your activities. To say nothing of this, he sometimes serves your family as a messenger or servant. This means he worked just as an ordinary servants do. Those engaged in getting the Lord's favor attain liberation from the Lord very easily, but he does not very easily give the opportunity to render direct service unto him. So beautiful, like yeah, remember, like, Vidura's wife, like she, when Lord came, Krishna came, she was so like overwhelmed. She was instead of feeding the banana, she's feeding the skin of the banana, and Lord is having that in because he does not need the opulence that the Kauravas have or anything. He's just like when he went to when the Pandavas were in exile and they. Krishna once went and then they already had their, prasadam, and there was nothing left in the pot. And then he's asking for prasadam. So Draupadi, she was feeling very, very shy and embarrassed that she hasn't got anything for the Lord. And then Krishna asks and says, go and check your pot. There must be something. So just earlier days, they didn't use metal pots like earthen pots, like made of clay. So clay pots sometimes, things stick. So just a small grain of rice was sticking, and then she just brings it, and it becomes like a huge feast for the Lord, like and offered. So even he's accept that little grain after everybody had eaten and everything has been done, that leftover grain also he accepts. So what to speak of like when we can do more for the Lord. So how he surrenders, this realization is like, it's just out of this world. Yeah. Hare Krishna.
Thank you so much, Mataji. Yes, it's the Lord's, those are the glories of the Lord. So one must be, in order to have Lord in their heart, he must be cleansed of all the impurity. One has to engage this tapasya, austerity, and penances when we have time. Again, the kalatvam, that without losing any moment of time. Thank you, Mataji. Any other sharings and reflections? If there are no further reflections, then we shall conclude and continue with further japa, please.
Before that, let's all please unmute and say three loud Hari Bols to Prabhu, like for the service he does. Devotional service, like he does throughout the week, is just unparalleled. We can only be grateful every time he does that. So just please, devotees. Or maybe Janukana Mataji wanted to do Hare Krishna Mahamantra. So Mataji, shall we do the Hare Krishna Mahamantra?
I think it's better because Prabhu doesn't like to be glorified, and we shouldn't be glorifying each other that much. We can appreciate each other, but I think personally, that's what I think. Hare Krishna Mahamantra is a lot more beneficial.
Yeah, we
What
can
do you
that.
think, Prabhu?
Prabhu will not say anything in his glorification.
Prabhu, what do you think?
First we say Hari Bol and then we say Hare Krishna Mahamantra.
Yeah, when we chant Hare Krishna Mahamantra, whoever is saying and whoever is hearing, it is beneficial to everyone.
Yes, that's right. Yes, that's what I mean. It's not like glorifying one individual. We know Prabhupada has sent us a good messenger, and we have many times reiterated that he's one of the best, and that's why we stick to him and we learn so much from him. I just think if we glorify Krishna will enrich everybody's lives and give us that strength and energy to continue.
Yeah, definitely, Mataji. Let's all do it together then. Yeah, three loud Mahamantras. Yeah. Hare Krishna,
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. 3 times. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare,
Hare
Hare
Rama,
Rama, Hare
Hare
Rama,
Rama,
Rama
Rama
Rama,
Rama,
Hare
Hare
Hare,
Hare,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Krishna
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Hare,
Hare,
Hare
Hare
Rama,
Rama,
Hare
Hare
Rama,
Rama,
Rama Rama,
Rama
Hare
Hare
Hare.
Hare.
Amoga Prabhu ki
Sri
jai.
Muga Prabhu Ki Jai.
Devotees ki jai, Srila
Sri
Prabhupada ki
devotees ki
Srila
jai.
Prabhupada ki jai.
And we just read about how powerful trying to sing is for us. It cleanses all of our anarthas. If we keep singing little bits every day, it will be really useful for us. Haribo.
Hare Krishna. Thank you so much, Mataji. Okay. Yeah, let's chanting.
Banchakalpashami.
Sarvesha Kripa
Namaste
Sindhu.
Vacha Pachitana Pavanevya
Vaishnavejo
Vaishnavejo Namo Namaha
Ananta
Anantakoti
Koti
Vaishnavrinda Ki Jai Srila
Srila
Prabhupada Ki Jai. May our Muga Prabhu Ki get better soon so we can be relishing our thing more. Haribol.
Yes, one day without you,
Son.
Prabhu, like it was, we were all over the place doing things like you couldn't do one day in a week. There's so much dependency we
No,
have on
but it's okay. I think we did. You see, when we left to do it, we managed, didn't we? So we are
Yes,
supporting
yeah.
Prabhu. We're supporting him, but we miss him very much.
Thank you, Mataji. I don't
So
miss.
everybody joined hands and did well, I think.
Yeah, we did. Yeah, we followed his instruction. That's why we could do it. Yeah,
That's right. It's good instructions. Yeah. Fabulous. Thank you. Haribol. Have a wonderful Krishna conscious day, everybody. And I'll speak to you soon. Haribol.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Jai Shri Krishna.
Harinam today, if anybody interested.
Best wishes, Mataji. Yeah. Hare
Hare Krishna. Jai Shri Krishna.